Hey guys, welcome to Pillbox Movies. I'm Hank, and today we're continuing on in our series on adaptations of Louise Hodgson Burnett's The Secret Garden. We began our series with American Zoetrope adaptation directed by Agnieszka Holland and continued on to the 1949 MGM produced adaptation, and we find ourselves back in 2020 with some British adaptation bull. There's been a long tradition of British dutiful half-hearted adaptations of prestige works which have like a pat contemporary spin, but not much in the way of individual investment, whatever. Let's check out this 2020 adaptation and see how it stacks up against its forebears. If you haven't already, click the like button and subscribe to see more stuff. Comment down below. What is your favorite adaptation of The Secret Garden? Or are you just a book stan and, you rep that? Don't care for these silly, frivolous film adaptations. I feel you. I feel the exact same way about How to Eat Fried Worms. $1947? We mustn't. Oh no. We're gonna set this in whatever they call it in Brit, like King George era. Oh no, is she talking to her dolls?
Shall I tell you a story?
Is she not a brat anymore?
Once two people called Rama and Sita, and they loved each other.
This is appropriation, Mary Lennox. I believe the cinematography for this version is done by Lowell Crowley, which is a nice look. He's a British indie cinematographer.
Time for a nap, Jemima.
Oh god, he's doing the Humans adaptation. But he did Vox Lux. And he did 45 years too. Oh, did not know that. Look at this gritty, grimy reboot. We don't give an F. We're gonna tell The Secret Garden our way. These close-ups are gonna kill me.
Don't understand. I need better food than this. My parents are dead. Would you like to hear a story?
No, I'm not keen.
Yes you are. Why have they set this post World War II? Why have they made her not mean anymore? That was like one of the most compelling aspects of her character.
I was a kid.
I get the propensity to make all stories be about trauma and how characters carry trauma, but we can also recognize that this was a fascination of other people of other times as well, and they understood perhaps that manifesting trauma doesn't necessarily come out in the maudlin way that we think it always does in our adaptations. What was the era of King George called?
You are a plain little piece of goods, aren't you? Southwaite is not the place it was. Those army savages used it as a hospital in the war. Left it a wreck. And there you have it. That's home.
But why set it in 1947?
And don't expect him to come running.
Just to have
He's had better days.
an easier
Stare when you see what afflicts him.
costume wardrobe? Painfully CGI. You can have CGI animals. I'm fine with it. It's okay. Just don't make them do too much.
We are fully electric. And that doesn't mean the electric always works. So,
It's a good joke.
in the lavatory, the night, you take a lamp. Till then, don't be expecting there'll be people to talk to. Because they won't.
I need no entertaining. I'm not a child.
Okay. We're building up a theme from there. The idea that these children don't view themselves as children. And so there might be a lesson or a transformation where they accept their childishness and
Talking about.
they move on from the trauma of war to perhaps returning to their childlike wonder and innocence. Ghastly set decoration. Why have we done this? Everything's just shot in studios these days in front of a green screen. It all looks so ugly. Set decorators, please. We want you back. Okay, and there's definitely a greater attempt to tie the thematic secret garden to her time in India now, with the green imagery.
Hello?
Look how many close-ups they're going to force on us. Every shot is going to start with a close-up, and then just move on to a medium. It's just going to be the same. It's going to be like my YouTube videos. It's going to be the same progression, except backwards, of close-ups, and then pull back to mediums, and then eventually pull to like super wides. Every single series of shots. Every single.
Hello? Is someone there?
So I get, in terms of pulling visual interest, the desire to have like bokeh be an aspect of contemporary filming, like keeping the background out of focus and only like having your subject sharp, but it makes for such a lazy set design where you can't see anything that's going on around them.
Whoever Aya is, she sure is not here, is she?
Okay, they definitely have tried to pivot this relationship with Martha being like domineering and like mean towards Mary, as opposed to Mary being like incessantly cruel and mean towards Martha. I think we've bent to the desire of like making Mary Lennox like likable or sympathetic far too much.
Children didn't turn out to be fools. What were being washed and dressed and took out to walk as if they were puppies. And there I was, excited to have a young'un in the house.
Dude, this is so grim.
Well, get rid of them! Throw them away! Burn them! I don't care! The house will be better without them.
Okay, and we definitely have a hysterical rendition of Archibald in this version. It'd be cooler if the fake clouds weren't moving so quickly. We're just gonna skip the skipping rope section? Okay. Okay. What are we gonna put in this adaptation then?
Are you Martha's brother?
The introduction of Dickon is so weird across these adaptations. I don't know why they try and set him up as like a villain in this version.
Do you have a problem with wild dogs on this manor?
It is not a manor, it is an estate.
Sorry, it's an estate.
You're expected to be in your rooms by then.
I'm just having a problem with these J cuts. The way they move their way into scenes is by having just like a smash sound in the audio and then cutting to the visuals. I get it. It's meant to unnerve you and give you a sense of disorientation, but like it feels like a modern interpretation of what mystery feels like, and it's just I don't know. It feels kind of formulaic and also strangely atonal. There we go again. Like, I don't know why we need to have this sense of jump cuts for this character. She as a character would be trying to like take in as much information as possible. So having so much information filtered out seems contrary to how she would be trying to orient herself. It actually seems to be against what how her psychology would be processing all this stuff.
The dead soldiers haunt this house.
If you hear noise, then turn over and sleep more.
I didn't ask to be here.
Why did they make the choice of not making Martha fun in this version? Because I get the reason, actually. Like, it's meant to make everybody feel imposing. Everybody's, like, against Mary Lennox to elicit sympathy for her, which I don't get why this version chose to do it this way.
I need the same meat to my sandwich today. Please.
Like, there's such a beautiful discovery in the secret garden, having Mary Lennox be a jerk from the beginning and have her open up afterwards. Requiring her to be sympathetic the entire time kills that momentum. It's not a discovery anymore if you're meant to like her from the beginning. What's the point of the story then?
There you are.
There's a concerted effort to make Mary Lennox likable from the beginning in this, and I hate it.
What's your name then?
Look how hard they're working to make you already like Mary Lennox. Maybe I want to give it a chance, but I feel like this is genuinely a fundamental misunderstanding of what the mechanics are in the Secret Guardian, of how they work. Oh, they cut the Robin. Lol. Lol, my eyes hurt from how ugly this movie is. Lol, please. I don't need the teal orange saying in my English children's manner movie.
I would say the little servant girl.
Lol, where's your contrast, lol?
I'm no servant. I'll give you none.
Are you a
I'm
ghost?
Colin Craven.
Just ask,
And
are
the
you a
only speakers
ghost?
is my father. We're cousins. But I've never heard of you.
Look how
You're very thin.
ugly this is.
Don't worry, you won't like me. No one does.
You see, it's fundamentally weird for her to say that nobody likes her when they've tried to make this character who has no unlikable qualities. Look at her, she's already being brave and just and... We already have a Pip. He exists in Great Expectations. He doesn't need to exist in the Secret Garden. There is no need to insert Dickensian characters into a Burnett story.
She'd have me send you away to school.
I don't want that, sir. I like it here.
Why? Why do you like it here?
We'll find you a governess.
No, I've no need for governance.
No, you do need a governess. It's strange. How far are we into this movie? Maybe I'm just not paying enough attention. I have this really weird feeling. I have this really, really, really weird feeling watching this movie right now. I can't tell you what her relationship with any of the other characters are right now. And that's weird because we're 30 minutes into the movie. She's obviously had exchanges with different characters. She's spoken to them. She's had interactions. She's had two different scenes with Martha. She's had one scene with Colin. She's now having a scene with Archibald. And yet I can't sense what her relationship with these characters are. Maybe that's because they've made her character less defined than what she has been in other adaptations. But also just strangely, as a filming technique, there's this obsession with constructing all these scenes as shot reverse shot. Shot reverse shot is it's a standard thing. It's in all movies. It's in the other adaptations. But in every single scene of this, like, almost like meticulously, she's like not in frame with the other characters, and it's just very empty and barren, all of the compositions of this movie, and everybody's just like so far away from each other. There's like not a sense of relationship between them. Everybody seems at such a distance, and it's very weird. It's just weird blocking choices, I guess I'd say, for this movie, because the 49 version and the 93 version, either very conventionally or unconventionally, chooses blocking that signifies a relationship between Mary Lennox and the other characters. They have a middle distance. They have a standard distance with each other, which Mary or the other character will close or will distance themselves from. This is especially true in the scene with Mary Lennox and Colin. She comes closer and pushes away as her feelings dictate in the scene, with both versions, in the 49 version and in the 93 version. With this one, they're just like never ever in frame together, so much so that you don't even feel like they're in the same scene together. You know they are, because sequentially they're talking to each other. It's cut for them having a conversation and being in the same space with each other, but they just like, there's never any real sense of spatial relationship as determined by the blocking. And it's because, how do you block when you're shooting inside of like a CGI set, when you have like just like maybe like one bed and then just a whole lot of green that you're going to fill in with like fake set pieces later. So it's weird. it's weird that in some ways the set itself has mandated what the spatial relationships of these characters are, and yeah, to a certain degree the acting and the cameras can't like block their way out of it. Weird things that contemporary filmmaking techniques have done to what seem like pretty self-evident or naturalistic ways of acting a scene or having characters connect.
I'm obliged by law to have you talk.
And we'll need to break the law, won't we?
Just never in shot with each other. Just a child actor with a stand-in, and then him acting to nothing. Like a literal bear trap on a moor? Why? Why force a kid or a stunt actor to do that? How big is this garden? We don't need to see things like... It's a garden. It isn't a habitat. What the fuck is this? That's not... Is this a Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? Is this meant to be stylistic? Is this meant to be, like, evoking a sensation she has in her head? Because this is not a realistic garden! I don't understand! It's not a garden! What are you doing? Those trees are thousands of years old. I can't watch this. This is extremely painful. There's a stream running through it. This is meant to take place in, like, Yorkshire, isn't it? I'm, like, scared that this is meant to be, like, surreal, like, something that's happening inside of her head, because that'll be just, like, a fanciful excuse that the filmmakers use to have this crazy set. Because, like, they can use that as a justification, but it's just, like, at odds with what the actual story is about. In the end, it was the children's imagination that saved them. Yeah, this has become the same, like, standard story of, like, children are special and they just have to discover.
That's your chair.
It's none of your business. Don't touch it.
Oh, it's good. Moves well. Do you use it?
At least they're finally in a scene together. Barely.
You're afraid of flowers? That isn't very sensible.
This color scheme is killing me.
But the last ball they had here.
Close up. Far away shot. Close up.
This
Far
house
away
is
shot.
Light, laughter, happiness.
Close up.
Your poor mother.
You just spat on yourself.
You spit too. Then we shake, then we're bonded. If you're too much of a lady, then there's no...
I'm no lady, sir. This way!
You know what I really loved about the 93 version? The sense of progression of seasons. Part of the story of cultivating the secret garden is that they find it during winter when nothing has grown. And so, you know, they have different costumes and stuff, and they change along with the seasons, just like the garden itself changes. And there was just like a wonderful progression to that.
What are you doing? You tricked me.
Hold the head.
This was all a trick.
Nothing's broken, but it looks like it's going rotten. There's no running water here.
This is the worst one. I thought 49 was going to be easily the worst one. This is the worst one.
Dickon, you haven't fixed anything.
Just give it time. Both of you. We've done all we can.
I'm hoping the garden will magic him well.
Come on.
No. No, that's not what we're hoping. He had the right theme when he was talking. He said give it time. That is partially a correct answer. That these characters are too impatient and they have to learn to respect the timeline of other things.
It has a lake. You wouldn't call it a lake, but a pond maybe. And a stream.
Is all of this also just to like make it super stupid modern and is all of this the reason all of this magical realism is happening is because it's actually a story within a story, and the story of the secret garden is what she's telling Colin and or Archibald after the resolution of this story? Because if it is, I will hate it. She's taking you into her room so that you can wear her pearls and become Anthony Perkins in Psycho.
No, take me back. No, don't be scared. You like them. Your mother. My mother. This, Colin. You'll scream, I'll scream, no good will come of it.
Imagine that friggin' boy supposedly creating screams that resonate throughout the manor.
This is Dickon.
Hello.
Oh my god, they've blocked it out. I was about to say that it was cool that they actually had a scene with the three characters together, and then they blocked them so that they wouldn't be within the same frame together. Dude, the color palettes in this movie are just like awful. Awful, awful, awful. What a weird choice to have the house be green and also have the garden be green. What a weird, weird choice.
You're too fast.
It's meant to imply that one version is verdant and the other version is sickly. Please, please stay away from me with those interpretations.
Mary, the wall. Stop! The wall!
I literally think they set this in post-war just so that they had like an easier wardrobe collection.
He's not diseased.
Just like the manifest laziness in this adaptation.
What's your father called? Marcus. Can we not name him after him? We should not name him after my father either.
Ill. Yeah, because everybody has trauma. He fought in the war and he died. It was really important that we know this about Dickon. Every part of me is dying. I feel so bad for this actress. She was like, I'm going to be playing Dame Maggie Smith's role. And then she reads the actual script and she doesn't have a character.
Little savage girl.
Well, that line makes more sense in this adaptation, I'll say.
I did not explain to you to stay away from the parts of the house that were not yours to run.
You were forbidden from entering into the West Wing!
Your excitement could kill him. Do you think he wants that?
Fine, then go ahead and starve!
Let's look into finding a school for my niece.
Please.
I actually like this scene. If only because
Somewhere to educate some civility.
literally all three characters are in frame. When else has that happened in this movie? Dude, this impressionistic editing. This movie somehow thinks that it's a Terrence Malick film. I'm losing my mind. Every single decision this movie has made to make it not the original source material, every single plot point that they've added has made it worse. It's going to be letters between the two moms. Who cares? Who cares? It's why have the important relationships be about characters that don't exist on screen? Why not have the important relationships be between the characters who are on screen? It really is oddly Dickensian in as much as by having the most bland central character surrounded by a cavalcade of colorful, interesting, dynamic characters. Wait, what? Also, just this manner is disgusting.
And now, you're on your own.
And his hair will literally not get wet.
Why would you bring me here? Because you needed to see it. Would you like to see the place your mother died? She died here because it was beautiful. And so made this place magical.
Did she commit suicide in this version?
Cured Hector's leg, and I didn't want to see the dress.
Is this Sleepy Hollow?
Please.
Is this a magic tree that has dead bodies in it? She looks like she's about to turn into the Vavitch. It's a weird pivot that this movie has decided that the relationship that needs to be repaired is between Colin and his mom. It's an interesting Freudian take that this movie has decided to focus so much on the maternal relationships.
Is sad at the moment. Her sadness has made her unwell.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I didn't understand.
Weirdly Freudian movie.
Listen to this. She's bold, slightly dangerous, and she has a spirit that nothing can quench. I'd be scared for her if I wasn't so proud of her.
The mommy love in this movie is just outrageous. Outrageous.
I'm so pleased Colin is making you laugh so. A whole day pretending
They've taken this original story and just like put it underneath a rolling pin and just squeezed it out with all this like weird mommy and Lion, the Witch in the Wardrobe Gardens and trauma, just like endless tragic backstory trauma. There was one central relationship where the like trauma needed to be repaired in the original story, and they've taken that and made it to be about everybody. Just weird.
Maybe neither of us knew our parents well.
21st century tragic backstory, obsessed with mothers,
Please let us say otherwise.
magic realism bullshit.
Can't you see what you're doing to him?
I've abandoned my son! I've abandoned my boy! I was just about to say, if we start off on another close-up on this girl's face, I'm gonna freak out. This movie is also oddly like, you know how in Skins you're like, when do they ever go to school? In this movie, like, despite them being like locked in their rooms all the time, I'm kind of like, they just go anywhere they please throughout the entire movie. Nobody's locked up anywhere.
The girl so determined no one loves her, she'll make it so. They won't like me like you do. I'll go back to being alone.
I don't... I feel like they swapped their character.
Is that normal?
Oh my god, no, they've actually made a fire in the manor. Everything in this movie does it. Nothing, nothing, this movie adaptation of The Secret Garden is ending with Mary Lennox going into a fiery manor to save Mr. Craven. Is this Rebecca? Is this Batman Begins? We don't need to always burn down our manors. His son's gonna walk up to him.
Your son needs you.
I've ruined everything.
Ew, 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 ew. Ew, 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 ew. They had this moment in a fiery manner. Ew. Ew, it wasn't even his son. It was the f***ing mothers again. And I'm glad we could use the Philip Glass-ish music. That seems really important. This mommy shit is killing me. Mommy shit in my secret garden? It's the secret garden! There. It's the secret garden! It's the secret garden! I can't look at that shit. This is not acceptable. This is not acceptable. Goodbye.